Hi everyone, my name is David and I welcome you all to another series. In this series, we'll be looking at mathematical operators and the popular basic formulas. Before we get started, I would love you all to click on the like button, subscribe, and click on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our updates. If that is done, let's get started. In here, we have this table which contains the date, product, country, city, and we have the currency sold in each of this month: January, February, March, April, May, and June. So these are the various products in here, the country, and also the city. All right, so we'll be working on different formulas. And before we start that, we need to also understand some of the mathematical operators. Many of us are conversant with the sign, but if not, I'll be able to explain that all to you. So the first of it all, the first thing you need to do in this kind of case, before before putting any formula or even trying to include any of these mathematical operators, you need to first know that the first thing you have to put in inside of your cell where you want to apply the function in is the equals to sign. So the equals to sign stands for insert function. So once you put in the equals to sign, apply any function you want to apply in it. So let's say, for example, we want to add, okay, so we can actually do it this way: 34 plus 45. And once that's done, so just click on enter and you have it as a result here, 79. So if you double click on it, you have this equals to 34 plus 45. We can also do it this way, whereby we can select any of our cells. So I want to select this value in this cell. I want to add it with this. So that will be column L, row 2, plus this. And once we enter, it's going to give us 650. Okay, so there are other signs. This for addition. We can also try the subtraction. So let's say we want to subtract 345 minus 230. Okay, so once you click on enter, you get this 115. So we can also do it this way, whereby we click on this cell, put in the minus sign, then 430. Sure, it's going to give us a negative result, minus 210. Okay, so we have other signs. So let's say I want to multiply 67. Then multiplication, this is the sign for multiplication. So 7 times 2 give us 134. Okay, and for the division, so let me just still use this time around. I'm just going to remove this and replace it with the sign. So this is the sign for division. So once you click on your enter, it's being divided and you get this result. All right, so that is that for the mathematical operators. So let's look at the basic functions. So the basic functions are most of the functions that we use most of the time. All right, so it's very essential that you have understanding about the basic functions. Now the first function we'll be looking at is going to be our sum function. So I would like to find the sum of all these values from January to June. So what was the total sales from January to June? So to get that is your equals to sign, then sum, open brackets, So you open parenthesis, then you can actually just select. Okay, so there are various ways of selecting your cells or your range. So we have the syntax here given to us here. So we can actually just write it down. We can actually say 450, comma, then 345. Then once you close the brackets, it's going to give us the sum like this. Okay, but this is not what we want to do. So we want to like find the sum of all the sales. So that is from January to June. So that's going to be E2 to J2. And once you close the brackets, we have this 2797. So let me give it this heading as sum. Okay. All right. So there's still another easy way of us finding the sum, and that is we using this short key called the alt and equals to sign. So the alt and equals to sign give us what we call the auto sum. All right. So the alt and equals to sign give us this. So you can see what happens here. So it's just based on the fact that we placed our cell here, and so you just identify the numbers and alight on each and every one of them and just does this for us. So this is what we call auto sum. So once you click on your enter key, you get this. So we can actually do this down here also. So once we place our cell here and we click on the alt and equals to sign, it identifies these numbers that are above and it sums up for us. And here we have it. Okay, so I'm going to clear this so we don't need that. So scrolling up, so we have this. So we can also get the auto sum this way. If you come here, you actually say this key, so which you can actually get in your own menu. So once you click on your own menu, you'll find this auto sum. So if you click on the auto sum, click on the drop down, then you say sum. So you just click on sum and it's going to do that. So right now it's just selecting this, and this is wrong for us. Okay, so we can actually do it this way, whereby we can add a light on the row we want to get the sum off, and click on sum, and you can see it gets for us. All right, so so that is for the sum. Move to the average. Okay, so for the average, kind of the same process with the sum. So what we just have to do is we can actually just alight on the cells which we want to find the average of. Then we close the bracket and we enter, and it gives us the average of the values that we have there. Okay, or you can actually do it this way. We can actually click on the auto sum here and click on average. Okay, so it's selecting the wrong cell. Or we can also do it this way. So let me clear this. We can actually click on the auto sum, average, and here we have it. So but right now it's including the sum, so we don't want that. So I'm going to change this key to J and enter, and here we have it. 4661667. Okay, so the next one we have is called the max and the main. The max and main function. So we have the max function, and what does the max function does? So it helps us to get the maximum value in a range. So it returns the largest value in a set of values. So very simple. So what you just have to do is highlight on the values, and it's going to give us the max. And once you click on enter, here we have it 784. Okay, or we can also do it this way: auto sum, click here, then click on max. Here you have it. So right now it's including the sum and the average result that we have here, which is not what we want. So we're going to move this L and replace it with J. Okay, and enter. And here we have it, the maximum value. So if you look at the values that we have here, 784 is the largest. Okay, so the next is to look at the opposite of max, which is mean. min equals to mean. So mean is minimum, so it returns the smallest number among the set of values we'll be highlighting. So enter, you can highlight on this of confer, then close the brackets, and we have it. So the minimum value is 220. So we can actually use this auto sum. So I'm going to collect it, then come over here, then click on minimum. So let me try that again. Okay, so here we have it. So I'm going to just replace the n with J, column J, and enter. Here we have it, the minimum values. Okay, so we still have some other formulas. So the next formula we're looking at is the count formula. So equals to count. So equals to count. So count, it counts the number of cells in a range that contains number. So that's what the count function does. So we want to count the numbers of cells that contains number. So in this case, I'm going to highlight every row, every cells in this row, and I want it to identify the cells that contains numbers. Here we have it. So once we click on enter, we have it as 7. Okay, so this contains number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and that's why we're able to arrive with this value here. So the next function we'll be looking at is the count blank. Okay, so let me expand. So equals to count blank. So what the count blank does is that it counts the number of empty cells. So I'm going to highlight on every cells in this row. So I want it to identify the cells that are blank. So once I close the bracket, so A2 to J2, so enter, then we have 0. So no cells in this row that is empty. But just look at this. If I try to remove this value here in the month of June and click on my enter key, it updates. And here we have it, 1. So one value in this row is empty. So I'm going to bring it back, Ctrl Z. Here we have it. Then lastly, we have the counter function. So the counter function counts the number of cells in the range that are not empty. So the counter is like the opposite of count blank. So the counter is used to count the numbers of cells in a range that are not empty. So that would be A2 to J2, then close the brackets, then enter, and here we have it. So 10 cells in this range are not empty. These are majorly the basic formulas. So before we wrap it up, please kindly like, subscribe, and also click on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. So we're uploading videos like this just to help you understand how you can actually use the Excel application. So not to miss out from it. So just click on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our updates. Alright? Thank you very much and see you in the next video.